Hello everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Polity Quick Revision series. So this video will talk about amendment of the Constitution. Here we'll take a look at the different types of amendments, their applicability, what's amendable, what's not amendable, the procedures that are involved, some interesting questions about the topic, and also many such other things. So without any further delay, let's get started.
Constitution. So what happens in your constitution? See, amendment of the constitution can be introduced in either house. Okay, just some points that we'll talk about. Either house, okay, in the center, okay, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, not in the states. Okay, you can do this. In fact, it can be introduced even by a private member, meaning not a introduced by private member, as in non-government minister also. Okay, in order to introduce this, don't need president's permission. In fact, the president's role is quite limited. Okay, and the president, in fact, the president must give assent. But if it's other bills that you must have seen, okay, those options he does not have, can't, he cannot or she cannot, okay, withhold or reject or return. Is that clear? The president has sort of a limited role. Okay, you don't need president's role, sort of an introduction. You don't need president's permission. Okay, it can be introduced by anybody. It can be introduced in either house of the parliament. A quick question: what about joint sitting? Is joint sitting possible in case the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha don't necessarily agree to the kind of amendment that they want?
No, sir.
Okay, Manvi says no. Okay, so that is right. So you know it doesn't allow for a joint sitting. Can you tell me which sort of a Supreme Court case brought in this idea that you can amend, but without altering the basic structure doctrine?
Keshavananda Bharati case.
Excellent. And which year was it?
1976.
1973. Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, great. In fact, this is all there is to this chapter. Okay, if you can remember all of these points, it'll be difficult to sort of quiz you on something that is outside of this. Apart from this, there are a few things that we want to keep in mind. What are the kind of ways in which we can amend? So amendment of the Constitution basically talks about, so this comes under your article, guesses? Article
368.
368. Excellent. Okay, so Article 368. So this talks about three ways in which we can sort of amend the Constitution. First one is amend it just like a normal bill. Okay, and that is your simple majority. Simple majority is, the number of members who are present and voting. You guys know, right? What is are you guys aware what is a simple majority, special majority, and all of that? Absolute majority?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for instance, let us say a majority more than 50% of the total membership of the House and majority of 2/3 of the members present and voting. That is, which kind of majority is it?
Special majority.
Okay, so you guys are very clear with this. Okay, that's great. That's your simple majority. The other one is your special majority, and the third one is going to be special majority plus a ratification of half of the state legislatures. Meaning, at least how many states do we have in India? Is it 29?
28.
20, I guess 29 it used to be, I guess, minus your Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh that have become, I guess, one state less. I guess it's 28. Okay, I'm guessing, okay, so I don't know this 100%. Okay, and Jammu Kashmir and your Ladakh have become your union territories. So like half of this, so 14 plus 1, 15. Okay, they have to ratify this. And how do they ratify this thing? Yahan pe it'll become a simple majority. Okay, yeah, it'll become a simple majority. Now, what comes under each one? So this is something that will be interesting. Okay, if you go to your chapter, you will see all of them listed, right? You will see all of them listed. Let's take a look at the ones that are about simple majority. Admission or establishment of new states. So for instance, I want to create my Telangana or something like that. Okay, when was Telangana formed?
2014.
Excellent.
2009.
No, 2014. 13, 14, somewhere there it was. Okay, but this movement was there even before. Okay, this movement was there even before. In fact, I even remember on Telangana, in Hyderabad streets, I used to see there used to be, these vehicles, instead of AP, okay, they will have like a, white sort of a cover, or, some sort of a sticker on top of it in which they will write TG. Okay, so that time it was, at its peak. However, I think now it is TS, right? It's TS, is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, TS, right? Yeah, okay. It used to be AP09, I guess, in Hyderabad. So things like that. So, okay, admission of an establishment of new states. Okay, there's your simple majority. Formation of new states, alteration of areas, boundaries, exchanging of certain things, all of that. In fact, your abolition or creation of your legislative council in states also is a very simple procedure. Okay, just a simple majority in your parliament. Okay, anything to do with your second schedule, which is your EAP, emoluments, okay, your allowances, your privileges. This will also be under your simple majority. What is quorum in parliament? What is quorum in parliament?
The minimum number of members required in order to start a meeting, a session.
Okay, and what is, yeah, and what is it now?
1/10 of the total strength.
Okay, so perfect. So in Lok Sabha, it has to be around what, 55? And in Rajya Sabha, it has to be around 25.
55.
Okay, and salaries and allowances for the parliament members. Okay, rules of procedure. How do we sort of conduct our activities in the parliament? Privileges of the parliament. All of that, basically a simple sort of simple majority of the parliament. Okay. Use of English language in parliament. Whether we want to change that. Number of puny judges in the Supreme Court. This basically is a term. It's a sort of an older term. This means the other judges, non-CJI judges. Okay, if in case you want to increase, even that is sort of okay. Giving them more jurisdiction, official language, there are certain aspects here. Okay, citizenship related activities, elections to parliament and state legislatures, delimitation of constituencies. Okay, union territories related, or article or fifth schedule and sixth schedule, right? By the way, fifth schedule has how many states? Sixth schedule has how many states? Can somebody tell me what are the states that come under your sixth schedule?
Assam, Tripura, Meghalaya, Mizoram.
Assam, please say that again.
Tripura. Meghalaya.
Go on. Yes.
And Mizoram.
Perfect. Okay, good. Good on Aishwarya. Okay, so and fifth schedule is going to be in your 10 states. Okay, you see them in your 10 states. Now I'll come to this one, the middle one later. Okay, let's take a look at what are the ones that come under special majority of parliament plus the ratification of half the states. Okay, yahan pe you will see the provision of the constitution which are related to the federal structure of the polity. What is federal meaning? Okay, division of powers between the center and the states, and with some powers, that are sort of shared powers as well. Okay, by a special majority of the parliament, they have to be along with the consent of half the states. Okay, by a simple majority in the states. So remember, special majority of the parliament and plus consent of the states it is simple majority here. States have to sort of ratify it using a simple majority. If one or some or all the remaining states take no action on the bill, it does not matter. The moment half the states give their consent, the formality is completed. So if 14 plus 1, 15 states have given their sort of, they've agreed, they've ratified it, then it does not matter what the others do. And there has been no time limit sort of mentioned in the procedure. If that is the case, what are the ones that are sort of important from a federal structure perspective? Okay, one is election of the president. Election of the president, also you will see elected members of your assembly, those members are also sort of involved here. Extent of the executive power of the state, union and the states, again federal. Supreme Court and High Courts ka related activities. Okay. Supreme Court, you will also see some things, okay, for instance, the number of uni judges, okay, that we saw in the first one. So just do not get confused. Not everything about the Supreme Court is going to be in your special majority of the parliament with consent of half the states. Okay, distribution of legislative powers. So we talked about executive powers between the state and the union, and now we are also talking about the legislative powers between the center and the states. Similarly, GST, this has been something that has been added recently. Your 7th schedule. What does your 7th schedule deal with?
Division of powers.
Perfect. Okay, representation of states in parliament. Okay, representation of states in parliament. So what do I mean by this? Okay, it basically talks about your MPs basically who are going to be sent to your parliament. Any sort of change in that. For instance, if I want to talk about your Rajya Sabha members, right? Do all states have equal number of Rajya Sabha members?
No.
No, sir.
Why?
It's based on the
It's based on
population.
population.
In America, you have. Can you tell me what is the lower house in the US? USA में lower house, and what is the upper house? There's a topic in your mains that talks about the other sort of political systems also in your GS2. Do you guys know? So it's House of
the Senate.
Wonderful. Okay, this is your Senate, and then you have the House of Reps, okay, or House of Representatives, right? Now here in the US, this is based on population proportion. Okay, I'm just putting it as that. Okay, not the best choice of words, but you understand what I mean. But the Senate, each state has 2. Each state has 2. Okay, the US upper house has, for each person or each state is going to be 2. So whether you're a state that is as big as in New York or California or Texas, which are like the 3 largest states, okay, or whether you're like a North Dakota, okay, whether you're in Nebraska, okay, whether you're a Maine, okay, so if you're one of those states, it does not matter, you're going to be represented with 2 senators for your particular state. How many does Karnataka have in your Rajya Sabha?
12.
Yeah. Okay, since you guys are all from Karnataka, okay, you should know Karnataka at least. Okay. Okay, so that is that, okay, and the power of the parliament to sort of amend the constitution and its procedure. If I want to make any changes in Article 368, again, it has to have consent of half the states. Now, you have seen 2. Okay, but what about the middle one? The middle one is a special majority, okay, without the consent of states. And here you basically have the provisions that can be amended by this way includes, okay, your FR and your DPSPs, okay, and any other provisions that are not mentioned in the first method and the third method. Is that clear? So anything that is not explicitly mentioned will come under special method.
All right, guys, so that brings us to the close of our video. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you found the video to be useful. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the very next video.